Hello. Okay, so I haven't made a video for a while, and I don't know if you can see this, but it's raining, so I'm not working. So I thought, what better time than now to make a video about rain delays. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how I approach rain delays and the different types of rain and what I do about it. So I'll just start by stating the premise that my goal is to get the work done and to stay on schedule as much as possible. So I always have that in mind when thinking about how I'm going to approach any rain delays. Okay, so the first one is light rain. And so like I said, my goal is to keep working and to get the work done. So if it's raining lightly, then I just keep working. I don't really mind getting a little bit wet, and sometimes it's even kind of nice, so I'll just keep working in that situation. And so the main thing for me that will cause a delay that I'm looking for is when it gets really quite wet, and in particular what I'm looking for is if the concrete is wet, so like the paths and driveways, because if they're wet, then it makes work a lot more slow. It's a lot more difficult to blow off the pathways and to leave a clean finish for the client. And so that's really something that I'm looking for. And so a lot of times when it's raining lightly, it's not a big deal, and the concrete doesn't get very that wet, and so it can just keep going. And so yeah, again, and the other thing is that the equipment, so when it gets really, really wet, the equipment gets clogged with grass really easily because the grass becomes wet, and then you have to constantly clear out the mower of grass, and it just becomes really slow and cumbersome to do that, and that's yeah, just more difficult and not really pleasant. And then of course, like, I'm operating out of a van, and so then the inside of the van becomes very wet, and it just becomes very steamy and like a lot of condensation inside the van, and so that's no good for me. But maybe it's different if you have a trailer. You can probably work a little bit further through. So that's light rain. I will just continue. So then you have heavy rain. So like what's just happened here, this was heavy rain. So a lot of lightning and thunder and like really heavy rain coming through. And so that's a proper delay. So when it happens, I just finish the lawn I'm on, and then I'm in the van and I decide, okay, what am I gonna do now? So one of the things that I don't want to get really wet, so yeah, I just point out that it depends on the time of the day. And so for this, I've done 2 lawns, it's still early in the day. So I don't want to continue working in heavy rain and have really, really wet clothes, which I then have to go and work all of the rest of the day, and that's really uncomfortable and not pleasant. So what I did in this situation is I finished the lawn I'm on. The rain really just started coming through when I was doing this lawn, and so I finish it, and then I jump back in the van. So then what I'll do is, so this is early in the day or in the middle of the day, this is my approach. I'll look at the weather forecast and I'll see what type of rain is this. Is this a storm, or is this heavy rain that's going to last all day, or is this just something that's passing? And so in this case, it was just something that's going to last a couple of hours. It's sort of like a thunderstorm that's coming through, and it's only going to last about 2 hours. And so even now, as I'm making this video, I can see that the rain is clearing. I've come up here on the mountain just to have it so I can see what's going on, and I can see that it's already clearing. The rain is passing, and just like the weather forecast said, it was about a sort of 1 hour storm, and so that's only really going to delay me about 2 hours. You know, 1 hour for the actual rain, and then once it passes, I'm just waiting for everything to dry up a little bit, the concrete especially, like I said before, and then I can continue working. So this is about a 2 hour delay. Yeah, and this is just quite near the start of the day. It's about maybe like 11 o'clock, something like that, 10 or 11 o'clock. And so I'm happy to wait for a couple of hours, and then I'll continue working and try to keep myself on schedule as much as possible. So that's this situation that I'm in right now. Now, the other thing is if it's very wet at the very start of a day, and in that case, I just won't go out mowing. And again, the same thing applies. Perhaps it's just a 1 hour storm that's happened, because I usually start about 8 a.m. Let's just say at 8 a.m. it's really raining heavily, but it's only going to last for about an hour. So then I'm probably going to start work at about 10 o'clock. And that's how I'd approach it at the very start of the day. Same thing as if it's in the middle of the day. Now the other thing is, if it happens at the end of the day and it's very heavy rain, like let's just say I have only 1 or 2 more lawns to go, then I know it's the end of the day, and like I said, I want to stay on schedule as much as possible, so I'll actually just finish those 2 lawns even if it's in pouring rain and I get absolutely drenched and it's difficult and it's not a pleasant job at that time, but I'll still finish it because then at least I finish out the day and I stay on schedule. So that's how I approach it at the end of the day. Then of course the other thing is, and in all of these circumstances, like, I try to keep the client communication to a minimum. It's something that takes extra time and extra effort, and it's something that I don't really enjoy doing and I don't want to do. So in the situation like now, where I have, say, a 2-hour delay, I'm not going to contact anyone about that. I will just wait and I'll continue on my day. Now, if I get 2 hours behind schedule, then of course, perhaps 2 of the clients at the end of the day, this won't apply today, but some days where I have a full schedule, then let's say maybe the last 2 clients, they're going to get delayed to the next day. And in that case, I will contact the client to let them know that their lawn has been rescheduled for tomorrow. And so that's the only time I'll contact a client about it, like I said. The people, of course, scheduled for earlier in the day, I'm going to get their lawns done just a little bit later than normally they would get their lawn done. So I'll give you guys a message that I send out to those clients who then have their lawn rescheduled for the next day because of rain. This is what I say, and I'll put this in the notes down below so that you guys can just copy paste it if you want to actually do that. So I'll say hi and the name of the client. Let's call him Barry. Hi Barry, due to weather, your lawn service has been delayed. At this stage, we expect to mow your lawn tomorrow. Thank you for your patience, kind regards, and then my full name and my business name. So in this message, of course, I'm just saying that due to weather, your service has been delayed, that's obvious. And I say at this stage, we or I, depending on what you want to put, expect to mow your lawn tomorrow. So I'm saying that at this stage, I expect to mow your lawn tomorrow. And of course, this is just a preface in case there are more delays, because if there's a delay, say for another few hours, or even a whole day, if it continues raining for the whole day, I'm still saying that at this stage I expect to be there tomorrow, but if there are further delays, then of course there are going to be further delays for your service. And so just prefacing that so that the client is aware that there may be further delays, but that at this stage this is what I can tell you. And just say thank you for your patience, so that's just being polite really. And yeah, that's how I approach rain delays. Hope that's useful, and I'm going to be having more videos upcoming. Hopefully you stay through to the end to actually hear that, but I've just been working hard over the main season. It's now coming into winter here, and so I've got a bit more time on my hands and I'll do some more videos, so check you guys out later. Thanks, bye.